Yeah, hi, hello all. Welcome to the Node.js development first session. Okay, so before I talk what is Node.js and all, I hope you guys are having already idea about full stack development, right? Yes, you have the idea, right? What is full stack development? So it is nothing but the process of developing a web-based application. Or simple word, in simple words, I say we can say like web application. When you're talking about that web application, you know so many examples, right? Gmail is one web application. What we say like Amazon is one web application. It is nothing but a software application which takes the help of internet for running. Such applications are like web applications. In that, the client side development will be there and server side also development will be there. Such applications are like web applications. These are just examples for those web applications. So your full stack development process is nothing but it is a end-to-end web application development process. That web applications how to develop from the scratch. So that concept, what I say like that complete phenomenon is nothing but a full stack development. In that, obviously, two things as we talk like the client side and as well as server side, right? So if you're developing the software like the programs for the client side, it is nothing but the front end development. And if you're doing the same for uh, server side, and it would be the back end development. And some people say backend developer server side plus in that inside database also included. But some people say server side separate, database separate. But actually, uh, server side program plus database, all the things together we can consider like backend. Why? Because we can see only websites and web pages only as a user, normal user. If you open any web application, you open Gmail or you open Amazon, you open IRCTC, you open anything, then what happens? We can see only websites, means only web pages only we can able to see beautiful pages we can see, but we cannot see behind the scenes. Like if you really click the button, effect you can see after clicking something will come, that you can see again, that is on the web page again. You understood what I'm talking? But the moment you click, something will happen, right? That something, what is happening, how it is happening, we cannot see. Means like what condition executed, what function executed, where how data is going, and the data is connected to the what to collect, a database or not, like what database is used, all the things we cannot see. That's the reason. uh, but all the things are happening in the background. Without that, there will be no logic and there will be no web application at all. See, if you create a beautiful website, that is not called web application. That simply may be called as website, front end website. That website with only front end or simply web pages, but you cannot call it as a web application. If you want to call it as a web application, the logics also should work in the background. That is nothing but your server side program. So that's the reason only we call this front end. Another name is like we have UI, call it as something like UI there. And here that is the process of a web application development, right? In this, um, we call it as presentation layer. All the things whatever you write in the client side, all together whatever you develop is called presentation layer. It is a typical architecture. For web application, it will have three-tier architecture, three stages. It is presentation layer, middle one is there, no, that is called application layer. Whatever you write programming, that is called what? Application layer. Programming means through server side programming. Next is last is like a permanent layer, that is called data layer. We have three layers: presentation layer, and here I have something like a application layer. Next we have something like a permanent layer, persistence layer. Actually, it is called to be specific. Some people say simply data layer in simple word. The application layer also has another name. What is that? Business layer. Last is like persistence layer. Persistence meaning is anything stores for longer times. That is called persistence. Have some persistence means you should have that, not like what here and there, not like that. Some focused, and you have to take something for longer times. That is called what? Persistence. See, you want to achieve something, sir, then what you have to get that idea, and you have to work not for just 1 2 days. You have to take it for long time. That is called what, that persistence. You should have that. So here also the data should store. Simple, like you have Amazon. You want to work with Amazon, means you want to use Amazon as a user. First, what you need to do, you have to create an account, right? And after that, you will be getting how to create account. You will be entering all your details and click register button. Next, once you do that, next time you will be logging into your account with your credentials. If it is correct, your home page or dashboard page will open. There you will do uh, searching the products, selecting the products, add to the cart, then open the cart, then buy now, then next place order, then select the payment mode, then place order, and then last select the address, then place order complete, right? All these things are you are doing, right? Where you'll be doing all these things in your account, you'll be doing. And after doing something like today, you did some orders, and after 4 days, you can see your orders by, by getting into your account. You can see orders, right? Means definitely your order details are already stored permanently. That is what. After 4 months also you can see, right? And you registered today only. After 4 months also you can again open your account, right? Provided if you remember your credentials. So means why it is happening, because your data stored permanently. For that purpose, we use something like data lake. What I want to say here is I want to give the clarity that this main logics are happening in the application layer or business layer. I told you, right? Prove that all these things are happening, but data will not be stored in that application layer or business layer. Data always stored in the database. Understood? No? But who will do that is this application layer. Who will collect the data from the front end? This application layer only. Who will do operation? This application layer only. Who will store the data in this application layer only. But where the data is stored? Inside the database. Understood the difference? Got it or not? And for all these things to happen inside this, we'll be developing different modules, or we say different functions or different functionalities will be creating in the backend. Clear? And those modules will get some tasks, like login related one module you will create. All login related activities will happen in that, and all registration activities will happen in that. Search related activities will happen in another. Orders related things will happen in another. So like that, we'll be creating different modules, and all that is what happens in the server side. Clear? If you really wanted to be a programmer, especially a full stack developer, you should be good at developing these things. Already, like front end will be developed with the help of HTML, CSS, JavaScript. These three are main. Apart from that, you have something like React.js as a framework. If you don't use React.js also, still you can able to do the programming. Front end side, you can able to create the application, no problem. But the problem is, if you use React, certain advantages will be there. And not only React.js, any framework if you use, advantages will be there. So as JavaScript is famous language at front end side, because if you talk about server side programming, you can do that server side programming with the help of Java or Node.js technology, or Python, or .NET, or PHP, or C++, or Ruby. Like that, you can do that. You understood? But so many flavors. When it comes to the front end side, you leave HTML, CSS, just designing only. What you will do with HTML? Only designing the page. You can't do anything other than that. Some content to design it. But main logic is written with the JavaScript. There is no other language we'll use at front end side. You understood? Only one language. Front end side programming, if you want to do only one language. What is that? JavaScript. So as we have only one language at the front end side, the number of what I say like frameworks also more. For Java, you might have only one or two frameworks. For Python, you have one or two frameworks. But because that is like limited, maybe something. But when it comes to this side, as JavaScript is the only language available, right? So that's why so many people created frameworks for that. Got it? So among them, we have React JS. React JS one thing. People say React or React JS. Angular. You should not say Angular JS. You have to say Angular. There is no Angular JS. Angular only. Angular JS gone. It is olden days, but gone. React or React JS. Next is Angular. Vue JS. Next we have Umber JS, Nest JS, NEST, Next JS, NEXT. Like that, we have several frameworks are available. Okay, out of all these, React, Angular, Vue. are in the front line, and out of them, those two, Angular and React, are having almost parallel. They're running like parallel, almost the same priority, but that is up to 2 3 years back. 3 years back, I say at least. But after in recent 2 3 years, at least 3 years, uh, the popularity of React has been increased like anything. So many front ends are developed with the help of React. Backend is maybe different, but most of the front ends are developed with the help of React due to its what I say like features and learning curve also. If you want to learn Angular, you have to learn one more language called TypeScript. It is a must. You have to one new language called what? TypeScript. Without that, you cannot implement Angular. Clear? But here it is not required. Only if you know JavaScript, it is enough to work with the React.js. So that's it. That is about your front end. Now coming to the backend. Backend actually we can develop. I told you, so many flavors are available. You can do it through Java. You can do it through Python technology, or you can do it through Node.js technology, or you can do it through .NET, and you can do it through PHP, C++, also their old one. We have so many Ruby like that. Now in this course, we'll be going with something like a Node.js. Whoever wants to learn front end again after completion of Node.js, again people can learn the front end. Whoever want to take this course as a Node.js full stack development. If they want facilities are there. If they want to consider this as a Node.js backend development, they can learn. If they want to consider this as a Node.js full stack development, one stack or Node.js full stack development, they can first finish the Node.js, then they can learn again HTML, CSS, and React.js. Understood? Yeah. But the important thing here is for this Node.js, apart from other things, we are sticking to Node.js here, right? In this course. Why? Because when you talk about Java, whenever you develop anything to front end, you're talking about full stack means you have to develop front end and you have to develop back end. Maybe you learn front end first, later maybe back end, or first learn back end, later maybe front end. Okay, the different story. But at the end of the day, full stack means you have to learn front end and you have to learn back end. If you talk about Java, you have to learn total Java. It's complete hold on the Java. It's not like just the definitions and all that. You have to develop the code. You have to create the backend programming. So what is application layer means so many programs, logics you need to write. So when you're talking about Java, definitely you have to write the programs. So when you're talking about the programs, you have to learn the language properly. Even the syntax, everything should be proper. It's total together you need to learn. Python, same story. Node.js and .NET and this. But when it comes to the Node.js here, okay, assume you learn Python or Java or whatever, and you finish backend. Now you are going to front end. Or some people already learned front end in that JavaScript React completed. Now they are coming to backend. Or some people now backend one of the language Java Python. Now they want to learn front end because the idea is to becoming a full stack developer. So you might start front end first, or you might start backend first. That doesn't matter. But two things have to be learned. In that scenario, you assume you are done with Java. Now you are learning Python, not Python, what to call it, front end. Then HTML, CSS, leave it. You can learn like tags, straightforward languages, tags and properties. But coming to the JavaScript, it's a programming language, very new. New means Java syntax is different, Java style is different, uh, the way Java works is different, the way you write the sentences, means code in Java is different, the way you do with the JavaScript is different. You need to learn everything from the scratch in the JavaScript. Understood? Two programming languages, two completely different and separate and completely. The way it works, if that is a dynamic language, JavaScript is dynamic. That is a static language, statically typed. I talk about that later once we talk. But different. What we say, like styles are there. The style of programming is completely different, and you need to spend a lot of time to understand the another language again. Logics you can understand, but coming to the syntax and the development style will be completely different. Same works for Python, everything. If you learn Python, again you want to learn the Python for backend, but you want to learn front end. No escape. You have to learn JavaScript. Whoever wants to become a full stack developer, there is no escape for them. They have to learn front end. If they want to learn front end, they have to learn JavaScript. No escape for them. They can claim themselves as any developer, but they have to learn JavaScript. This is the scenario. Or assume an opposite case. They learned already front end, completed JavaScript, then maybe Angular or React or something. But JavaScript is completed. Now they want to learn the backend. Now they can learn either Python or Java. Here also same story. In the JavaScript already they learned the programming concepts through certain uh, style, a different certain style. Now Java is a completely different style compared to JavaScript. Python is completely different from JavaScript. I'm telling in opposite way. Then what happens? You have to start everything from the scratch. The way you declare a single variable in simple, just one variable normal, where one variable a equal to 20, that the declaration itself is different in uh, JavaScript and other languages. Then what happens is you have to spend a lot of time in you have to spend a lot of time in so start like Java development or Python, especially for basic programming concepts. You forget about complex scenarios development. The basic programming concepts, if you want to implement, first again you have to start from the scratch in terms of syntax and all everything. So that's the reason I usually recommend people to learn this technology for server side development. What is that? I highlighted. What is that? Node.js. Thing is, I don't know whether you people observed or not. Java language, Python, Node.js technology, .NET language, PHP I told. Node.js is actually not a language. Important thing. Understood? All these are called technologies. Okay. These are called languages. Programming. Java is a technology. It's a programming language. Python is a technology, programming language. .NET is a technology, but Node.js you can say technology, but you cannot say it's a programming. It's not at all a programming language. Then what exactly this Node.js will do then? See, what you have to do in the backend, sir, definitely you have to write the business layer or applications, you have to write the logics, develop the logics. For that, you have to create modules, functions, so many things you have to create. It means definitely you have to write the programs. If you want to write the program without programming language, you cannot write the programs. That's sure. So programming languages are the main thing. So, but Node.js is not a programming language. So without programming language, you cannot write the programs or modules. Then what is happening is this Node.js is a it's like a runtime environment. What it is? It's a runtime environment for writing code. But which code here will be using JavaScript? A programming language we use. What is the programming language name? JavaScript. Using this, we'll be writing again. You know, JavaScript means a programming language. Using any programming language, you can normally develop the modules, functions, all the logics you can develop. But why special one runtime environment? Because JavaScript purpose was different when it is invented. The moment when JavaScript invented, its purpose is to add some dynamic nature to your web pages. Clear? And to make it more clear, to make it more responsive, some frameworks also introduced in the website development like React.js, Angular, and all. That story different. For that purpose only, JavaScript was introduced. Java, these things are if you want to work with JavaScript, you don't install anything. You observe, right? Just to create a HTML page, add some JavaScript to that, write in the script tag or write in the outside, attach to the script tag, run it. Who will run? Browser only will run. Your computer will not run it. Remember, I repeat it. In your computer, no installations will be done to run the JavaScript code. But you might be having an idea, at least in your you might have already worked or you might have not worked, but still you have an idea. If you want to work with C language, you have to install C compiler in your computer, Turbo C, some blue color, right? You observe in your, at least in your college days you have. If you want to work with Java, also first you have to install Java in your computer. Same works for Python, same works for .NET, other things. But JavaScript it is not required. Why? Because it is purely about front end. But this time you are talking like back end development. That's the reason we need one environment where JavaScript can also be run for backend. Understood now? That is called Node.js. That's it. Clear? But what code we write in this JavaScript? But people will confuse, right? Confuse means what are front end technology means HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and all. What is framework? React.js. Okay, fine. What are backend means? If you say again, what are backend programming language means? If you say Java, Python, JavaScript, .NET again, JavaScript front end or backend, people will get confused. So only for that purpose, Usually, it's what I say like it's habituated to say like Node.js is backend, JavaScript is front end, but that is also JavaScript. This is also JavaScript. There is no Node.js actually. JavaScript for front end purpose. This time JavaScript for back end purpose. But just to differentiate to avoid the confusion, usually write something like this. Then what exactly here happens is to run any of this programming language, what you will do, your computer should run them. Means your computer should be capable of that. First one compiler should be there in your computer. Means something should be installed in your computer. In that scenario, Java we have JDK, Java something software called JDK. Some special name is there called JDK. For Python also you have something like that. For .NET you will be installed. The same way, Node.js will be installing in your computer. Understood? And that Node.js will be acting like a runtime environment for your JavaScript to run in backend, means in your computer. In simple words, I say to run JavaScript out of the browser, we use Node.js. So far, what you know, running JavaScript only in the browser, where you will see the output, sir? JavaScript output, console window, that window, this window, where you will open all in the browser only, right? Console, where you will open console. Understood? So, executing the JavaScript code outside of the browser. To do that, Node.js was invented. Clear? There is one person, a computer engineer, don't know how to pronounce it, Rand or something like that. This guy, what he did. Okay, how, what I say, browsers are executing JavaScript is in every browser by default, one JavaScript engine will be there. Engine means, something run automobiles you have engine, right, which will run your scooter, your bike, your car. That is engine, right? So like that, to run JavaScript code in your web pages, browsers will have an engine, JavaScript engine, we say that. What this guy did is out of what we say exploring purpose. Some people do that, right? No, right? Some people will do that, right? Now, okay, whatever. I don't know what is there in his mind. What he did is he took that browser means it is also a software, right? Inside that somewhere that engine was installed somewhere, right? What it did is it took out that in Chrome there is something called V8 engine. We have different JavaScript engines are there. Chrome browser, right? There is those Chrome browser people developed something called V8 engine. V8 is one name. Just for JavaScript, I told you, JavaScript engines. One of the name is what V8 engine. This one it took out of browser code, something like he took it out of the browser and he created some environment around it. He has written some more extra stuff around it and he made it as a Node.js. Understood? And he created it as a compiler and he created it as a runtime environment and .exe file. .exe means you click something, no, next to next next to that's called .exe. Files application will start, right? Game how games will start. So next you will go, next you will like this, then it will start, right? So here also same. So he created something environment. The main idea is he took on JavaScript engine, V8 engine out of the browser and he worked on that. Then he released something like Node.js. Clear? So that is the idea behind this, Node.js programming. And I hope people got enough idea that why we should go with Node.js. Definitely, you no need to work with the new programming language. Means in Java, in backend, already you have some knowledge in front end for programming languages. Knowledge is nothing but what is the knowledge you have already? Um, JavaScript complete, but front end purpose you have. But logics are same. What is syntax same, everything same. Now we will be using for backend. Purpose is different. There you have written for changing the DOM. Yeah, what? It's right. Changing the content, manipulations, click events, click the event. If you click some function, for that entire thing is revolved around what I say like manipulation, DOM manipulation, only, right? But now this time connect to the database, store the data for that purpose. Same function, same style is same. Yeah, this is the guy. Randall is an American software engineer who is best known for creating Node.js runtime environment. Deno means another recently created Deno, something opposite. See, Node only. Yeah. Interchange them. Node only, sir. Node interchange some or the other way. Some people they do some crazy stuff. Usually they do like that. But he's the one who invented that node. But Deno is very recent. Maybe 1 year, I think so. Maybe 1 year. But that, Node.js is something which is the moment when Node.js environment was created, it has changed the style of development because so many people adapted it because of its what I say. Already they are front end developers. They have to. They already have the enough knowledge in the JavaScript. So no need to go with new language. So that's why people adapted it. In recent days, whatever the OTT platforms are, especially we have media players, some social media sites, new social media sites, and in that new developments, right? So much of new things are coming nowadays. Before 5 years, it is different. Now it is different. You know that, right? All those things, most of the web related things are happening through Node.js. So that is the popularity Node.js is having. And I told you 1 2 times also to you, right? Like Netflix. If you talk about Netflix, and it is running through Node.js. Yeah, you know these names, right? Uh, just these famous. These are just famous things, but you have so many things. You know PayPal, right? International payment. UPS normally you do, right? But international accepted one is like PayPal, where you can do anything from anywhere to anywhere. LinkedIn, Yahoo. That Mozilla means they have their what I say browser, right? That itself, around that they again used something like that. Netflix, and Uber backend. Front end they use Android application or iOS, that is for front end display purpose only. But actual words are, if you click that, it should think of, it should search for the gaps around your place and all. That searching will happen. Everything is a back end. Main logic is that what we say, that car visible is just a front end. People can easily design that car. There will be some designers, right, who will design that car symbol how it should be and all. Then to display in a beautiful layout, people will use Android. In that, there will be Android developers who will create Android app. Using that, it will be displayed. Doesn't matter. I'm not telling it's less, but what I'm telling is not more about it's not like more logical, it's more about presentation. Main logic is what, if you really click from here this place, if you click nearby around 3 4 kilometers surroundings, only how many you know cars or bikes are there, those only should be available to you. And if he really picks, then only it should be connected. If he cut, it should not be connected. These are called logics. Some like GoDaddy, eBay, like that. We have so many. These examples I'm telling, but you have so many things. Yeah, I forgot this one also. NASA's backend is running through this one, Node.js. I think you might have got the idea why they might have gone through Node.js, because of its features only. Right? Then why they will go? Why they will go? They know Java, right? They know very well that Java is a very big programming language. They know very well that Python is more popular language. They know or not? They know, right? Then they can go with that also, right? So what I'm telling is this Node.js has changed the web application development like anything. So there are so many things actually. Now you may not understand, but later you can understand what are those main features why actually it's Node.js to be run instead of Java or other things. Why people are using them, and all. We can learn in the future. But the thing is, Node.js has that much popularity. Clear? So why we need to learn? So that's it. This is called Node.js development or Node.js backend development. If you learn full stack means if you want to learn front end also, then Node.js full stack development. In the front end, what you will learn? You'll be learning React.js. Okay, you'll be learning HTML, CSS. There is no escape. HTML, CSS, JavaScript are must things. You can't say like HTML, JavaScript, I learn, no CSS, no. You can't say like JavaScript, CSS, I learn, no HTML, no. You can't say HTML, CSS, I learn, no. No dynamic nature. You can't say it as a proper website. So three things are must. So flavors are right. You can go with Angular or React and or something. So your journey of Node.js development will start from the basics of Node.js. Basics of Node.js means in your mind you have to understand like the basics of backend development of JavaScript. Understood? Is that one will be starting. So and after that we will be learning about Express.js. It is a framework actually. JavaScript front-end frameworks are what? React, Angular, and all. Now JavaScript you are writing it to backend side. Here also you can write pure JavaScript code using the Node.js is like environment. That's it. Node.js means think in your brain like a JavaScript. Using Node.js you can write a pure JavaScript code. You can write it. Maybe you may have to write a little more lines of code and all. But if you want to make that process simple or if you want to make it more effective, we use framework. Not only for that, you know, right? Every backend language will have the framework. Java with Spring, Python with the Django, .NET with ADO.NET, PHP with the Laravel code igniter, different classes are there. Node.js is also with Express.js. And coming to the database, because I told you, know, backend is always associated with the database. You can't isolate them backend separate because back in the process is what it will take the data from the front end. After taking what it will do, store the database. What it should do, server is taking the data from the front end. What it should do, store that because program will run only at that moment. Once you close the application, program gone. Gone means it will not run. The next data not there. Understood? But data should be there, right? Means it should connect to the database. I hope you got my point. The moment you launch the program, you click at that time runs. It will run, sir. It will store in where inside a program it will store in the variables. Fine. But the moment you switch off or you close, variables gone. Variables are temporarily used. Why variables are used? To store the data temporarily on your program, but not for permanent purpose. Clear? That's why in one program you have some variables. That program will store every time that only will run. You go to ATM, enter your PIN. You'll enter the PIN. Enter your PIN means one variable is storing your data or not? Yes or no? You'll be entering something. Next again you come out of it. Ask your friend to go to the same ATM. To go there, you enter and you come out and you do some transaction, come out and ask your friend to go. He also will go and ask. He will also has to enter that PIN number, right? Understood? For you also same ATM machine, for him also same ATM machine. Yes. And for you also same software run, for him also same software application run. Means same program, in that variable name also same. That is temporarily stored. Now you understand? Got it or not? Only why when it will store it only up to the time to compare your password is correct or not, PIN is correct or not. Only up to the time only that will store once transaction completed, that is that's closed. You'll be doing that, right? Cancel something, you'll then, yeah, clear. But if that is the case, okay, they're fine. But real, what you call not real, what you say, uh, permanent storage. If that is okay, Amazon you are registering. The moment you are clicking, your data will go to Amazon server, and you can send one response also. Your registration completed, but the moment you close, everything gone. Next time again you have to register. If that is the scenario, it's not a good thing, right? So everything will be stored in the database. Who will do that person is server program. I repeat, everything is stored in the database permanently, not in the variables. But who will do that is the server side program. And what he will do, server side program. I'm mentioning like he's like a person, but he's not a person, he's a program only. That is a program. So the beauty of this MongoDB I talk extensively in the later sessions. It's a special database. Generally, you can mention here like SQL something, learn SQL language, and you can work with Oracle database, MySQL database, so many databases are there. But MongoDB is a special database which is tightly, always comes with Node.js. There are so many advantages. I talk about them in the next coming sessions. What exactly using this Node.js or server, what you will do is it will take the request. from front ends. What server side program will do? It will take the request from front ends. Means in your mind you have to think like that complete program will do this. Got it? What server will do is it will take the request from the front ends. Your front end may be a web application, sir. It may be an Android app, sir. It may be an iOS app, sir. It can be anything. Clear? It may be an Angular application. It may be a React application. It may be pure JavaScript application. In web applications only this category. Your front end request is maybe coming from browser. In that browser, whatever application is running may be a normal JavaScript related web application, or maybe React application, maybe Angular, or it may be out of browser. Means like browser means like web based. It may be like app based. Client maybe your request may come from Android app. Apps, right? Play Store you download in the Play Store. No? That app request may coming from that app, or request may come from iOS. Simple examples are you have Gmail, right? Your Gmail server is written in some language and it is maintained in the server. Now, who will open Gmail? Whoever is having Gmail account can open. Now you can open your Gmail through uh, this one website, browser and website. Then Gmail server is a server, right? Now the request is going from your front end. This front end is also Gmail front end, but it is a website front end. Understood? Web front end. Next, you have phone. In phone, you open Gmail app. There also you can do something. Right? Now also request will go to Gmail server. This time request is going from Android app. Next, take your another friend's phone who is having iPhone. Uh, because the problem is all other phones will have Android app only. So that's why you have to go to only iPhone. You understood? If you want to change means next to go to iPhone, and in that you will be having iOS app. That in that also App Store you have, it looks like same Gmail only, but the Gmail is completely written in another language called iOS. It is written in Android. It is written in iOS. And now if you click again, request will go to same your Gmail server only. But now this time the request is going from iOS app. So request can come from different front end. So your server should be in a position to take the request. Next, what it will do? Process the request. Whatever request it takes, it will process the request. Process means if in Gmail, what you will do? You will do something like registration. Then request gone, right? It should process the request. Registration, what should happen? That activity it should do. Next, you are doing login to Gmail. Then it should do other activity, right? Processing should be different. For different requests, it should do different. For all the requests, it should not do same. And some people open Gmail and they will search something. Then the Gmail account, assume like they have some 50,000 mails are there. In that they want to search the mails. Then what they will do? They will type something. That is also you may think like here only I am searching. No sir, you are searching in the server. Understood? You will think like in my computer here only I am searching. No, got it? You are typing AMA Amazon means any mails came from Amazon it will search. How it will search is that AMA will go to server. There how many mails you have already got with the name called AMA. Those mails will be taken out. Again they will display, but everything happens within a second. That's why you don't see like it is going and coming. Okay, fine. Okay, whatever. Process the request. The next is if needed, what is that? Connected to the database. And then perform CRUD operations on the database. Got it? CRUD operations on the database. What does it mean? CRUD means create, read, read or retrieve. This is create, read or retrieve. Update, D means delete. I repeat, create, read, update, delete. Because if you talk about any application, that will do only these four operations. It will not do anything other than that. You say anything. You have Facebook application. In that you have profile picture, DP. Uh, you change it, called update. Understood? Uh, you wanted to create a post, new post you want to send. You want to post. Create it and click it. Then data added or post is added. Created. No. Out of 10 posts you made, you felt like one post is not good, you don't want this that to be in your timeline or something, delete it. Delete it. Understood? Click my friends or my network. Will be a list of friends, right? How it will come? It will be retrieved from your Facebook server. In your Facebook server, with your account, in that in your space, you will be having list of friends. In that, those friends list only will come out and display here in the UI. That's it. But the moment you click it, data will come and so all your post also click post messages, click messages. That will all things will be retrieved. Clear? So other than these four operations, no other operations will be performed on any application. So now these operations will perform on the database. On the data only this will happen, right? Now Facebook example I told where it will happen on your records, your what you say, your user record. You are a user for Facebook, right? Assume you have user, you have Facebook account means you are a user for Facebook. Your user data where it is stored inside the database only. There only you are doing creating, updating, reading, and deleting. So to do all these operations from the program, from server. So it takes the request from the front ends and it process the request to connect to the database and performing some CRUD operations on the database. And what it will do, it will generate the responses. What it will do, it will be generating the responses. You know the meaning of responses. Any call coming from the front end to the back end can be considered as a request. Any call which is going from back end to the front end can be like a response. So it will create the response. Generate means it will create the response. Means what response to be created. If we enter wrong username password, what response to be created? One string response should be created. You understood? String means one message response should be created. I hope you got my point. If you enter correct username password, then one home page should be created. That is called what? Response. Generating the response. Any response, whatever it is generated, then sending response to whom? Who will do this? Again, this person called server side program. That only clear. Now, as part of your Node.js development journey, actually, if it is a JavaScript journey, I say like a variables, so data types, conditions, loops, that now as part of our Node.js journey, those things will come and I will talk about them like a not from the scratch, but on topic based. I will repeat it quickly, but I assume like you already know them. Using this Node.js, your journey will start from how to execute JavaScript code in the backend. First of all, means out of the what you say browser, how to execute the JavaScript code. First, we'll start with that one. But before that, first installation of Node.js, but due to some React.js problem, you already due to React.js reason you already installed Node.js in your computer, right? Actually, Node.js first should be installed in your computer to start your Node.js journey. But already it's been installed. If not, also you can install it. Joshua, in your computer, you already installed Node.js. Joshua, able to hear me? No, okay, no problem. So, how to install Node.js is very simple. Just to go to your any browser, but just open Google. Just to type Node.js or you type Node.js download, it will take you to the official site of Node.js. The site is Node.js org. Click for download. If here also you can click again, there you have to click again download. Now click this. Here, observe Joshua. So your LTS is there, another is current is there. And here this is Windows, so this is Mac, so this is a source code because Node.js is like a simple free means not only free, it's a open source. How Node.js is created also is written. Understood? Inside that everything, all JS libraries will be there, no JS files, all everything will be there. If you want to analyze, take it and analyze. That is a different story. Okay. Now, what I want to say, for Windows and for Mac, like this is there, and even for Linux also. For Linux also, another what I say OS. But very very important thing is don't go with the current. What it is telling the latest features, but don't go with that. What is the latest one? 21.3.0. But don't go with that. Go with always LTS. What it is telling recommended for most users. Yeah, the problem is they will release it. If any bugs means any errors, then they will fix it. It's like trial and error. They release it and to the public. If they tell any in the new version any problems are there, they will fix it and next they will release LTS version. Understood? So till that moment you should not do that because this is not for normal purpose. That is for people exploring. For that purpose, people will download and do. But for you, you have to. You are doing it for what purpose? For learning purpose and all. You should not do this. Clear? So yeah, download the Node.js source code or pre-built installer for your plan. We don't want source code, installer is required. And first to go with the LTS first of all. It is what 20.110. It is 21.3. That is what. Now 20 is stable version. Understood? In 21 they will do something. What I have to say. 21.3 no. Next to 21.4, 21 like that. At some place everything becomes stable. Then they will release that LTS. Understood. We have to go always with the LTS. So we should not go with this one. See, it is telling Windows installer 64-bit.msi. You can directly click this, it will work. Why? Because here it is showing most of the computers are nowadays 64-bit only, and most of the people don't go for source code, they will go for installer only. That's why it is showing. Or you see, don't go for zip again. In Windows computer also, zip means again it will give you source code. What you will do with that? Not required. Uh, MSI. Your computer will be 32-bit to 64-bit ARM processor. ARM means not Intel, but nowadays all computers are Intel only. You know that, right? i5, what is that i5? So, so many things people say, right? Mostly it is like Intel only. Okay, you go with the 64-bit. Just to click this. Then what will happen, Joshua, here is like your okay, it will be downloaded into your downloader folder. Then it will be like a simple executable file. Go there, run, click that. Then it will ask you for the permission, admin permission. It will ask you because you are doing it in the computer, right? It means it's like a software. It's not like a simple file. You're not downloading some an image. Or this is a software. So that's why it will ask for one. What I say like permission. Do you allow it to run in your computer? You have to say yes. Then next to 2 3 next to will be there. That's it. Just it will take 5 minutes time. Then it will be downloaded. Clear, Joshua? So now to check whether it is downloaded or not, you have to type cmd in search bar. Then command prompt will be there. Now open the command prompt. Yeah, in that command prompt somewhere anywhere you can type normally. Just to type node hyphen v, node hyphen v, and hit enter. What it is telling 20.9.0. This is old one mine. Now it is 20.10. Okay, fine, no problem. Clear. But the moment I did not install now. uh, so now if it is not showing this, if it is telling like this, no is recognized, not recognized as internal or external command. If something is like this, then it is not properly installed. Clear? This is the way you have to cross check. So, just I hope you got it. Just to do this process in your computer. Yeah. So that's it. What I'm telling here. Yeah, you should have that Node.js to be installed in your computer, and then Node.js already ready, right? Now we will learn how to run basic JavaScript code, loops, so nothing loops, some condition or not variables, whatever, some printing, but how to run that out of the browser, not in the browser. Clear or not? So those things we'll be learning first as a starting of our Node.js journey. Once you are done with that, then we'll be talking about how to create backend project. Then how to write program to get the data from the front end. We assume like we are not front end developer. We are assume like from someone will send the data from the front end from one form. Someone will send. If data comes, what to do? We have to do. Understood? You have to learn like a backend developer, no? Pure backend. We don't know front end. someone will send the data from form. Data will come like fields, like form, what right, name, what name, field and values will come right from the form. What will come? Every field and value. If the data comes, how to restore again, how to take the request, how to process the request, how to need connect the request, and how to generate response. These things you'll be learning. So first Node.js installation. Next is how to run JavaScript related code in the uh, computer, or another words, out of the browser, how to run. Those things we will learn. For that, we'll spend some first 2 days, something like that time. And after that, uh, few things are there which I talk about JavaScript only at Java Node.js. There are few things which are not useful at front end side. They are useful only at back end side. Those concepts I talk. Then we'll start learning of this one. The moment you are done with all this is like process. The moment you are done with this, you're almost done with your what we call like a back end main development. Then we'll be creating in this process only. Meanwhile, we'll be creating APIs. So that is like the journey will be like creating APIs. Even though we are the back end developers, we are the developers, still we do one testing, not their testing. Our testing different. We'll be testing our APIs. I hope if you remember in your front end journey, we connected to the APIs, and we assume like someone already created, but this time we are creating. This time we have to assume like we are back end only. We don't know who is front end. We'll create and you will use it like that. You have to think clear. So that API testing and API creation. So this is your journey of Node.js development with your backend. So meanwhile, in this, when I talk about DB, I did not talk about MongoDB, but DB means MongoDB completely. Before you do all these things, MongoDB journey will be there. This one, this one you learn, sir. After that, you'll talk about first of all, you learn MongoDB. After learning the MongoDB, next connecting to the database. This one will be. Here I mentioned in this order, but how you will learn is taking the request, how to take from the front end, how to process the request you learn, then how to generate the response you learn, then how to send the response to the client we learn. After that, we'll be first learning about database, how to work with the database, what is the MongoDB, how MongoDB stores the data, what are different ways, everything we learn. After that, again we'll come to Node.js, how to connect the database from the Node.js code we learn, then how to perform the CRUD operations we learn. Then again we generate response with the help of database data. Earlier without database data, normal response, double quotes, we only send. Dummy data we only send. Now response will become actual some data will come from the database. That data we send as a response. Understood? Those things we'll be doing. This is a complete this one. Try to concentrate in a better way because it's easy to do. Why I'm telling, because you no need to work about any new language first of all. Your brain, you don't need to put your more brain into this one in terms of syntax learning and all, not required. Everything is already stored in your brain. Just concepts, new concepts, like to take the request and all, what to do. Here also some methods will be there. You will be learning because conditions, method, what you call like functions, everything is again same. Yeah. So that's it, guys. This is your Node.js development is about. So I don't want to get into technical things today only. Tomorrow onwards, we will see that. I hope you have got the idea what is Node.js and all. I strongly recommend you people to uh, work with Node.js because I told you the advantage. So that's why I usually recommend people to go with this one. Even though I teach other backend technologies, still I recommend to go with Node.js because of what I say, like in less time, you people can become a full stack developer where uh, what I say, like you can spend more time on practical things more than on learning the syntax. You already know the syntax, just spend more time on doing multiple, applications or multiple projects and multiple tasks and all. Spend time on that. Okay. So that's it, guys. I hope you are clear with today's session. That you got exact idea what we are going to do in backend development. So if you have any doubt, you can ask me, guys. You can unmute yourself. You can ask me your doubt, or you can even post your question in the chat box. I'll be happy to answer you. Else, if you are good with today's session, that you don't have any doubts, just to mention like you are clear. quickly, all of you. Vijay, Manidip, Bhargav, Harish, Joshua. Joshua, you are there? Actually, Chocolately is like it's a new tool, but not required right now. Okay, you uncheck it, not required. Normally install. Today's session, Joshua, you are clear, right? Have any doubt? Okay, yeah. Yeah. Okay, guys, then we'll see other aspects in tomorrow's session. Okay, so don't be behind. Okay, so don't put anything on pending mode, whatever we do, because today you will not be having any work to do because installation already done. If you have not done, installation is the today's work. So that is what I am doing. Every day you will be having the work. Today's work is installation. If you have already done, fine. If not, you have to. But you already have done, right? But you repeat your JavaScript, not React, just JavaScript related aspect, just variables concepts, basic concept. You just revise it because tomorrow you will use that only. Tomorrow, day after tomorrow, those things, but not in the browser, but directly in the computer, out of the browser. Clear? So, and tomorrow again we'll start the work, different work. So don't put the things on pending mode. That is what my intention. Okay. Okay, guys. That's it. We'll meet in next session tomorrow. Bye, guys.